start now. It's 1 o'clock. So thank you for being here with me. And today I want to make like a short announcement. So on 11th we start at paint events live again, group workshops, and I'm super happy to see you face to face. And also I have for the painting retreat in Switzerland, I have 2 or 3 places left. So if you want to come, just Google my website that you find on the left of the page, and you can see more details there. And for the painting retreat in Italy, which is in September, are 5 places left. So if you come also, you can check the information there, and just if you need more information, you can send me an email or a message. So yeah, I hope to see you there. And for today, before let's say to start, I'm gonna I don't know if you have the material, the alcohol ink artworks. So if you don't have, you can also work on I'm gonna show you this now, on some fluid painting. So something like this, if you have, this is like an old fluid painting that I mean I like it, but not too much, and I can do some doodling on it. Also something like this can be, this is a very light fluid painting, very liquid. After that I have one that it's very simple, and this can be used also for doodling in these parts. So we can work on fluid painting, or we can work on also if you have some watercolor. For example, these are watercolor backgrounds. And these ones also are like some experiments, so you can work on this one. Okay, so yeah, some people have alcohol ink, that's good. So I'm gonna show you some examples to see that you can work in different backgrounds. Also, let's see what else I have here. So regarding the the alcohol ink. So I would suggest, like, for example, if you have something that is like something like this, I wouldn't do something on these ones. I wouldn't doodling on them, because I think that they are nice, and anyway they have like a nice shape. So I would choose something that it's a bit more, let's say, like this, that it's a bit more messy. Also, I have something here that I experiment with different kind of alcohol ink, and some of them didn't stick on the paper. So you see that here practically I can cancel this. It's staying on the finger. So I'm gonna do some doodling on these ones, or something, I don't know, something like this, that also it's a lot of space and you can do some doodling on them. I mean, this one actually I really like it, but it's nice to try different things. Also are some of them that are a bit more simple, something like this, that also I like it, but also it's nice to try different kind of doodling in different kind of backgrounds. And after that I have some of them that are a bit like a mess. This is like already full of of golden and copper. Also, like, it was a experiment with golden and copper, and yeah, I can try on them. And what else? And if you have this is like watercolor background, so if you experiment with some watercolor, you can also doodle on this. If you don't have anything, because some people told me that they don't have anything. I'm gonna do very, very short, like 3 minutes, 5 minutes demonstration of watercolor background, and after that we can start. I'm gonna talk a little bit about doodling, different kinds of doodling, and this will gonna dry. So if you have watercolor, you just take any kind of paper of watercolor. You put some water. So this is like a spray that I'm watering very fast when I want a very fast effect and I want to cover all the page. You can after this like doing like spread it with a big brush, and after that you can take any kind of colors you want and drop some random shapes. Some of them can be a bit more like opaque or more transparent. So this is, you don't have to have anything in mind, like to have some shape, or just, you see, just make some, let's say, messy. And you can try like different colors. Something like this. Also, it's not necessary to cover all your paper. Maybe I'm gonna put a little bit more color here on the edges. So something that it's very, very, very loose. Something like that. So this can be the background for our doodling. Okay, so I think it's enough. So this is just for the people that don't have any alcohol ink or fluid painting, and maybe they have just this watercolor. So I want to to tell you that I found something that it's very practical for me. It's actually, I bought it in Coop. It's a support for cutting veggies, and I like that it's transparent, and I can use actually both sizes. Has here some little I don't know, supports, let's say, and it's very good now. When I turn it, it's staying there. Also now for this, you can use some, to dry it very fast, a heat gun or a dryer, which I'm gonna do very short. I'm gonna take the sound, just a minute. Okay, I'm back. So it's almost done, but anyway, this is just like a short demonstration. So now I turn this and I can use the other side, and also it's good because it's whitish now, otherwise it's transparent, but anyway, it doesn't matter. You can use it. This part, it's a bit like has some shapes, but the other one is completely straight. I almost prefer to use this side, but now I wanted to have this below and to dry nicely. So I'm gonna use this one. Anyway, it doesn't matter because are not so big the shapes, and you can let's say draw on them, and it's very doesn't take the shape of your drawing doesn't take the shape of this, of the veggie cutter. So, talking about doodling, are different ways, are so many different ways actually. It's a brand already, Zentangle. So our five. I put it here like very messy. So this is the Zentangle, the first one that probably you hear about this. I think if I'm not wrong, it's a German or a Swiss woman that it's branded it, and I don't know if you see if you've seen already in any papeterie in or Zumstein or Bosner, these art supplies shops. They have like a squares that can be black or white, and you can doodle inside there. And normally it's let's say like a very focused way of doodling. You are very focused, and you choose a shape, and you shape a pattern, and after that you repeat that pattern. So this is a bit, let's say, normally it's in white and black, and it's constrained at this square paper. Also in paint events they have a workshop just with Zentangle. The other one is this Zendoodling, that it's almost the same. It's like Zentangle, but it's not constrained at the color and the shape. So you can do almost the same thing, repeating pattern, but you can do in any color and any shape. And the Stendoodling, it's something that I really like. Practically you use a stencil, and after that you I mean, it's not necessarily a stencil. You can create a shape like a cat, let's say, and you have this stencil of the cat. And in the stencil, in this shape, in this pattern that you have of a cat, you doodle something there, like some patterns. So this is like Stendoodling. And after that we have the mandalas. The mandalas, practically the mandala is a circular pattern. You can put everything around this like circular pattern. Practically you can put like flowers or shapes like triangles or circles or whatever, but you have to put it in a circular pattern, in circular shape, and it's growing. And also you can do it like as much as you want, or you can combine different mandalas and doodle. It's a form of doodling also. And the Doodle Art also, it's my favorite, like also mandalas. I mean, any kind of doodling is my favorite. The Doodle Art, it's all the rest. I mean, all the rest, it's practically, you can use any kind of color, any kind of shape. You can combine the Stendoodling with mandalas and with no limit for the shape. You can do it how bigger you want, and you can use also like objects, like for example, let's say I'm not sure how is the name of that. I think it's also this doodling art, where you create like in a surface some story, but it's everything. It's full of objects. I don't know. It's like almost like cartoon, but it's not cartoon. I think it's doodling art because it's like you fill up the space. You don't let any kind of empty space there, and you can put anything there. Sometimes has a meaning, sometimes doesn't have any meaning, but it's really really beautiful. So today I'm gonna show you some kind of doodling that I'm using, And after that we're gonna start doing something. So if you participate to the watercolor doodling, we did something like this. So practically now you can take any kind of shape of pattern that we did in that workshop, and you can fill up your alcohol ink art. So can be maybe this, or even floral, or just anything that is coming up to your mind. After that, also this, it's doodling practically. You can use the shape of the flowers. So any kind of like this, it's like a pattern. So the idea is that you have a pattern and you repeat it. This is like also, it's a pattern that I like a lot. This little, it's very simple. And after that, I have something that it's a bit more complex. Let's say. Also, if you participate to the botanical doodling, also you can take like some kind of flowers, and you can use them there on maybe this like ginkgo biloba can be repeated. Also this one can be yeah, repeated like in a pattern. So what I want to show you is, probably already you've seen something in the advertising for this workshop. It's not very visible. It's just when you tilt it a bit in the light. So this is one of my favorites that I use it quite a lot, and also abstract, but also in this doodling shape. And I'm gonna explain after that where to put it, and I mean it's up to everybody, but yeah, I'm gonna give some explanations. This is another one that it's bit this Japanese pattern that also I combine it with some dots. Also, it depends of the light. This is in golden, and yeah, everything it's in golden, and it's making the contrast. And after that, I have here some. It was a project that I worked for somebody that it's like different kind of doodling. So you see, this is also, it's golden. It's nice to make a contrast when, yeah, in the light it's, you see it better, because otherwise it looks like yellowish. So this it's a kind of these are practically our patterns. So you can have like this one, so you can have also the circles. There are different kinds of geometrical ones. These are more geometrical. And here I have some that it's a bit more curvy, like more lines. And some flowery. Let's say. This is also, it's a bit more like botanical with these leaves. So you see how many ways that you can use and make this. Also, I like a lot. It's a bit similar with. Oh no, I had something else. Okay. With these three are a bit similar, but still a bit different. So you see here I have this pattern that is like shells. And here I combine a bit of geometric ones, this part, with also like lines. And are just lines like waves, let's say. So, yeah, I think this is, as you see, you can do it in any kind of paper. Doesn't have to be in alcohol ink or fluid or watercolor, doesn't matter. You just can create your patterns, and you can either have like a white paper without any background, but it's nice to create some contrast. like I used to say always in my workshops, like the contrast is very, very important in art. So to have like a background colors, and after that you come with something that it's the pattern, and in the background it's something that it's random, and or you have like this, like you see these circles, and after that the pattern, practically this, the pattern that I did, it's in the background. The circles are more or less the same in all of them. So like this is let's say like the pattern that I had it all the time, and after that the doodling was on the back. So let's start our doodling. I'm gonna explain what you can use. So the first thing that I'm gonna take, let's see what I have here. I'm gonna take this one. Okay. So we can use these jelly rolls that they come practically. I use them for almost everything, for doodling, also in acrylic, also in fluid painting, or in doing mandalas in like normal in the canvases and big canvases. And I have a few like in white, silver, or golden. This, if you buy a few, like 4 or 5. I all the time in the house I have like everywhere because yeah, if you don't use them, sometimes they dry, and yeah, it's good to have a few. After that, also I'm using these ones that they have like a fine tip, very pointy. So I'm gonna show you here. Okay, this one also I didn't use it for some time and dried. Let's see, this one, it's a bit more darker. God, I really didn't use this for some time. This, if you put a bit of alcohol, actually they can be reused. Yeah, it's coming slowly. Okay, but you see that it's very fine tip. And actually I use, I think the green one, yes, the green one, I use it here for this, you know, on alcohol ink. So yeah, this is working well. So it's very nice to use it. So this, it's a Faber-Castell, and you can find them in any kind of papeterie. Okay, and another thing that I have here, also if you work on something that it's a bit bigger, this alcoholing, normally they are very small. Like I don't know, I have here some shape. It's you see, it's really, it's like almost one hand. They don't say here the. Ah yes, it's 12 centimeters per 17. So it's good to have like a very fine tip for doodling on it. But if you have a big canvas, you can work this. I like a lot also Pebeokes with this, which is oil based, and also you can work on other mediums, but I like it more in fluid painting, in acrylic, to work on acrylic on it. And what else? We have also this that are my favorites, the micro ones. I'm gonna do here some doodling. So this is micron, which is very fine, which is very good for the small canvases. This is Pilot file liner. I know sometimes I'm buying different brands to see how they are. This is very good. This is 0.5, I think. And after that, another good brand is this. This is Molotov. This M, actually, it's Molotov. So also these are very good. This is 03. And after that, I have another that are quite cheap and good. So you see are different colors. Also you find them in papeterie, and this is I don't know, you can use any kind of brand. Actually, I'm trying all the time to buy different brands to try, but they are more or less the same. It's not a big difference. This is Folia. I mean, I don't even know these brands. I just try. Sometimes I choose because I like the colors. This is it's a Sharpie, but we don't use it today. This is you see it's from IKEA. And it's a bit like fluorescent. And sometimes it's nice to do also with some, because you need contrast. That's the thing. So the biggest the contrast is the nicest. So depends of the color that you have in the background. You can choose different color. For example, this here I would use this one. Actually, it's very nice contrast. Because already I have golden on this. I mean, also I can use golden, but yeah, for the sake of trying new things. And this also I use them a lot for making mandalas. This is, I don't know, metallic pigment gel ink. It's also a gel ink. These are a bit more thicker. Yeah, so you don't have to press too much, because they are a bit thicker, and that's why I don't really like them in the alcohol ink. And this, it's exactly like this one, another color, Vision Elite, Uniball. Yeah, different color. These are nice because they're more finer. And after that, this one, that it's Edding, that it's a very known brand, that it's 01, and also it's quite fine. So yeah, this is everything that you can use. Also, you have to, with the jelly pen, they can be a bit thicker if you press too much. It's nice to press a bit less. Maybe at the beginning it's a bit difficult because you don't have like too much experience, and it's like the tendency is to press a lot, and you have like very thick lines. But if you just press a little bit less, be a bit more conscious when you're gonna see the lines, so you can correct yourself. So let's start now. I'm really curious, how are your alcohol inks? Because that I could give you more advice on this. That's why I like the live, because I can see where you are, how on what you work with, and would be more easier for me to help. So then I was thinking to do something that it's a bit more, let's say this one, it's a bit more airy, like not so charged. I have some of them here that are very, like this one, it's quite charged, a lot of colors, there's random shapes, and it's a bit difficult to choose what to do on it. Even here I did these things, and I'm not really happy with them, but like I said, in art it's good to try. If you don't try, you cannot learn. So that's the best exercise is to try all the time and see what is coming out, because it's just a piece of paper. You can do again the alcohol ink, and anyway, like I said, if you do it in some alcohol ink artwork that you don't really like too much, yeah, it's not a bit it's anyway, you don't like them, no? So I wouldn't do in something that you really like. like I said before, I have some of them that I really love, and I wouldn't touch them. It's not point, no, you already like them. So also, like I said, if you have something that by mistake you did something, I don't know, like this one that I said that the color it's peeling off, you can try to do something to maybe save it, something it's worth to do. And also like this one, like I said, it's very crowdy anyway, so it's good to practice on it and see if you can do something that let's say that has more, it's attracting the focus of the viewer, because here it's like the view, it's everywhere you look and it's like a bit of mess. But if you doodle something on it, it's becoming the background, and you have the doodling are gonna be the highlight. So the eyes are gonna be attracted by the doodling and not by the background. And let's say what else I have here, like this one that it's let's say it's not very doesn't have too much contrast. I really like it, and maybe here I will try to do some doodling like floral thing. I'm like botanical. Maybe I'm gonna put it like vertical, and I'm gonna do some flowers here, or like some leaves, and I'm gonna show that in some point. And after that we're gonna do the doodling on something like this, like the watercolor that I said for the people that doesn't have alcohol ink. Also I'm gonna show some ideas. This I'm gonna do it at the end. Yeah, I hope we have time for everything. And after that are these ones that also here it's a mix of it's like a mixed media paper. You see that it's a bit more thicker, and you can do you can work on this paper with acrylic, with watercolor, even with oil. So here I have some oily pastel crayons. They can still go left and right. And here when you doodle, if you have like oil on the base, it's not working very well. So you have to avoid these places. And here I have like a mix, I think, of a bit of oily thing, and after that like acrylic ink. It's a bit golden and some metallic stuff, so also it's nice to do something on this one to see how it's evolving. So I'm gonna try like on this one with golden, because I have already golden on the page, as you see now. Yeah, it's a pity that you don't see it like directly. I have to move the paper. So I think like this, it's visible for everybody. So here I'm gonna do a kind of let's say waves, like let's say like in this one, something like this. And maybe I'm introducing this pattern like this. So I don't know, if you want, after that I can make a picture of this patterns, and I can post it or send it to you if you want, to have it like inspiration. If you want, just drop me a line in the chat if you feel like, and I'm gonna post it somewhere and let you know. So I would say that this kind of pattern, because it's quite rich of the lines, and as you see, it's very close to each other. It's working very well in on the background, that it's not very crowded. I mean, here I have like big spaces of that are empty, and also here. And also because here I work in alcohol ink with this markers, and I have still, you can see the shape of the markers, how I did with the marker, and after that I put the alcohol, and being so transparent, you can still see these markers lines. So I don't know, you can see them. Yeah, you can see them here, like very faint, but yeah. And that's why I want to cover this part. And also I would suggest to go a bit intuitively, to not have a fixed idea of from the beginning what you want to do. It's a bit like, let's say, like in life. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to do in 20 years. You take it like slowly, or like driving. During the night, you see like 20 meters in front of the car. You don't see all the way. So it's the same in art. Sometimes we don't need to know every single step. We take it like step by step, and let's say we adapt depending on the effect that has the first step, and after that we adapt in the third step depending on the effect of the second step, and so on. So we go step by step. And another thing, it's like, it's good to move your paper to see if you, I don't know, maybe it's inspiring you. You see something like some kind of shape or that you want to give, or something. Sometimes it's I don't know, it sounds a bit woo-woo, but it's talking to you, you know. It's like it's a time in art when you have to be completely intuitively, and there are another moments when you have to be very focused and conscious. So, and look at this, and rational, let's say. So it's like going back and forth. So let's say here I would do something on this part that I want to cover anyway. So this is the rational part, and my logical also wants to go also here, but I'm not going to do anything in that part for the moment. So I'm going to start with this one, and I think also sometimes I have something in mind, and after that I'm starting to do some patterns, and I see that in the process of doing it, I have another idea, and I transform, and or I adapt. I go with the flow, let's say. Even that sounds very difficult sometimes, because you don't know where the flow is going, you know. But yeah, it's let's say it's step by step process in every kind of art you do. So I'm going to start here where I have a bit more golden, and I'm going to start with this kind of lines. Okay, I think you see it. Yeah. Again, it's you don't see it very well when it's not moving on the light, but otherwise after that you can see it when you move it. And I'm gonna try to stay in this perimeter here for the moment, and after that I don't know if I'm gonna go here, or for the moment I'm just staying here. You see that it's a little delimitation of the colors here, so I'm gonna try to stay on that one. And also this line can be, let's see here. So you can have them like, you see, to have a center, and from the center to go like left, right, and all the other directions. Or here I did it without the center, but I have like some points where they come together. So I'm gonna do something more similar like this one, and I will see if I put this shape here. So I'm gonna let this here. Maybe you want to see it like here, because in this part I'm not gonna touch for the moment. So practically I went with all the lines more or less in the same, starting from different points, but they come together in some point here. And now when I have, I think enough, that's why it's a bit weird to explain this, because I don't know exactly how your background it looks like, but I trust in your I don't know, like let's say artistic inspiration in your inspiration, yes, and you can decide when you want to let's say do something different or to adapt depending on your design. So now I'm gonna go from this side here, like on this, and after that I'm going here. So I have these that they were gonna, at some point you see that took the shape of this line, and here I'm gonna do the same. So in the middle I'm gonna have a straight line, and after that I curve the lines after this shape, and here after this shape. So you can do it like this, and after that I'm gonna go a bit more here. Also, don't be worried if the lines are not completely straight, because in some point they gonna, let's say, they're gonna be so much covered that you don't see them anymore. You don't see that one of them is not straight. Okay. So now I'm gonna go like more from up here. This is a bit longer. Now I want to go here like this. Also, you can do like a line, something like this, to have like, let's say, the pattern already, how you want to do it. So I'm gonna go here. This is helping a bit to have an idea of your lines. So let's say also something here. So I did, let's say, the pattern that I want to have more or less, because when you have like a big surface like this, it's helping to have like, let's say, the direction where you want to go. Also, I think here it's a bit too big, and I'm gonna go like this, and maybe also here I'm gonna go like this. So now when you have a segment like this one here, you can go like in the middle, because it's helping to have like a direction. And after that you work all the time, like you choose the middle lines, and finally we're going to be fill up. So now I'm going in the middle. Okay. So now here I'm going again in the middle here. I'm gonna pass this and again here. And you can pass on the other side also. If you have like this element in the middle, you can work on both sides and let it there. Sometimes it's nice to not pass over it. Okay. Sometimes looks like a bit weird at the beginning because you don't see the pattern, but till you have to be patient till the end and see how it's gonna look like. Sometimes like more or less in the middle you start to realize how it's gonna look like, but yeah, it's like everything we have to be patient sometimes to not give up before in the middle of the process. I think the more fine you have the lines, the nicer it looks like, but yeah, if you don't have very, very fine pen, also doesn't, it's not the end of the world, no? So for me this is very meditative because once you have your pattern, you don't have to, let's say, think too much, and you get into this state of repeating pattern and your mind is like chilling. It's not wandering too much. And yeah, it's almost like, it's like meditation. Okay, starts to have like some kind of shape. Also helps you if you move the paper. I'm trying not to move it for you to see it well, but maybe sometimes depending of your lines direction, it's good if you move the paper and it's easier for your hand to make a circle or like whatever shape that you need. So you don't need to have it like all the time in the same direction. And also feel free to change a pattern. Like we had this like helping lines at the beginning, but if you, for example, I'm here and I see that maybe it would be good if I'm doing, I don't know, something here, for example, you are free to do it, okay? And by the way, for those that don't have the alcohol ink, you You can buy it from Paint Events, the course that Yanka did it, which is really, really beautiful. And you have there like methods that three techniques that you can work with alcoholing. And also, if you don't have the materials, they can send you, it's an option like just the course and the option with the course and the materials. So you can try that. So finally here I haven't done any shape like here, like these ones. I just made the lines. It's like, it's a bit more easier, let's say. But also I forgot. I got into this meditative way of being when you do art. Okay, so I have this place more or less covered here. I'm gonna see what to do with this round one. I think I'm gonna do it like this, and here. Sometimes also it's good if you don't have the space in between the lines the same size. It's perfectly well, doesn't have to be the same size, so don't worry with this. Sometimes actually it's like if it's too perfect, it's a bit seems like that you did it with stencils and doesn't have that touch, like human touch. Okay, so let's see how it looks like in the light. Yeah. And now I'm gonna turn on this side and I'm gonna do something smaller here, this area. Like I'm gonna do something, you see here I have like a white, almost whitish part, and I'm gonna do some shape here, just this. Okay. And also this part also. Okay. Also don't worry about this where you start the lines and when you finish them, because at the end we're gonna pass with one line there. I mean, you can do it or you cannot do it. It's like, it's up to you also. Sometimes it looks nicer if you want to delimitate to the space where it's something else, or also it's good to let it like just like that. And also your lines can be like from okay, I have a question. Like, what material is your alcoholing? Oh, I have the paper. It's is this Yupo that I have it here, but this is like a heavy Yupo. It's a bit expensive in my opinion. And the other one, it's like a roll that you can buy it in Amazon. I think it's I don't know the brand actually. I have to check it, and I'm gonna answer at the end. So I think in my opinion, the roll alcohol ink paper is the best, especially when you try at the beginning. After that, when you control a bit the technique, you can try this more expensive, that this alcohol, this Yupo paper, also Legion, is coming in bigger sizes. I think A4 or even more, like A3. And it's nice when you have this the paper that it's much more thicker. Oh, here it's another another doodling, different kind of doodling, but it's much more. It's almost like it's thicker than a picture, like an analog picture. So yeah, if you want to do like some artwork and put it in on the wall or on the, yeah, it's better probably to have like this, that it's a bit thicker. So now here I'm going with the lines, like directly creating a shape like a S. And you see, practically here I did it directly because the surface was a bit smaller than here, and I knew exactly where I want to go. And okay, now that we have this, obviously you can fill up all the space, and the alcohol ink is gonna be just your background, and it's gonna look nice because you have like this shapes that they have different colors on the background. Or you can do something else. So for this one I'm going to do something else, because I think here I want to fill up all the space, and yeah, not taking in consideration the background design. So now here I'm gonna, like I said, delimitate the lines where starting and finishing my lines. I mean, it's already a bit delimited by the color itself, but you can do it a bit more if you want. Or you can do it in some places not. It's up to you, and it also depends of your design. So I think now I'm gonna do here on this pinkish, I'm gonna do this kind of pattern, this one that looks like I don't know how it looks like feathers, maybe, very abstract feathers. And I'm gonna turn it a bit, so I put this here. And this I'm gonna do not everywhere, like from where the lines here are finishing of this border of the lines here, and this I'm gonna do this kind of feather things. I don't know, just came now into my mind, this idea. So practically are like can be like straight lines, or maybe I do it on a paper for you to see it better. Let's see. I'm gonna do it on the back of this. So we have the line here, that's it's the border. And now we can do something like this. Or you can do it like a bit curved. Doesn't have to be the same size, you can alternate with the size. Something like this. Okay. And also it's another idea that can be something like this. So you have some squares like this kind of shape, and after that you can fill up like more, like on the top of them, and this you can do like also infinitely where your paper is finishing. Or I don't know, it like also depends on how you feel, like your inspiration, because everybody has a different way of doodling, or different let's say yeah, inspiration. Also this you can fill up some of them don't. You see, it's like infinite possibilities. So I would really love to see what you do, like if you want to share later. I'm always amazed to see how everybody is doing something different and still beautiful. Okay, so I have this here, and I'm gonna do something also here, like around this shape. Also here you can go and do something small. Also, I recommend to do this like alone, in like not in a workshop like this, because sometimes you have the feeling that you have to go fast. Like for example, I have the feeling that I have to go fast and decide fast, which sometimes is good because you don't put too much rationality on your decision and you go more with the inspiration, with the first impulse. But in the same time, also it's nice to have your time and really look at this and look at your background and analyze it if you wish, and see, yeah, to have time to decide something, because sometimes it's we live practically in a world that everything is almost too fast, and art shouldn't be like super fast. We should enjoy every moment and take time, and sometimes when you don't have inspiration for the next step, you just let it there, and you come next day or next week whenever you feel like, and you feel that you really want to be there with that, you know. It's like yeah, when you are obliged to make art, I think it's horrible. And I don't think that the inspiration is coming very easily. And this reminds me a lot of the artwork in communism. I grew up in communism till 13, and it was such a bad art because they were like forced in a way to do like some communist art where they had to let's say to show how amazing is the party and everything, and obviously it wasn't something coming from inside of person, or like the having the inspiration from nature or whatever. I mean, not all the artists, but obviously, like what you could see everywhere was like this communist art that was like square, and everybody was working, and they were amazing everything and stuff like that. So that's why I feel that sometimes it's so good to take your time to make art, and even if it takes 1 year to make a painting, doesn't matter, because important the feeling and how you feel when you do it, and not too much how fast you do it. So now seems that it's coming together. I will do something, you see, because I have these parts here. So I'm feeling now to put some this kind of shapes, like let's say these feathers or whatever, to put also on this side here in the middle, like maybe something here, something here. So you see, these are like decisions that I couldn't see at the beginning. I didn't have that inspiration to do that at the beginning, but now these previous steps, they practically help me to and give me, they are giving hints. It's practically every step is giving a hint for the next one. This is it's working a lot in, it's how it's working the process in the intuitive painting. If you don't want to paint like a portrait that you have to go like, or like a paysage or something that you have to go like step by step, because it's how you make something like real painting, like photo painting. Otherwise it's working like this, it's like intuitive. And sometimes can be that you make a mistake, but like I said, this is like just a paper. If it's not working, you learn something what to not do next time. And if it's in the acrylic painting also, that is very easy to correct and paint over. So again, it's I would say it's not a mistake, it's just a try and it's experimenting. So I'm doing like left and right here, some shapes. You also can combine if you, depending on your alcohol ink pattern, you can combine like the white with golden or black, different kinds of pen. So I have here, I think I'm gonna do another one here. And another one here. And I would say that it's done. Also, it's good to move it sometimes, like put it in different directions and see how it looks like. I think I'm gonna do something else here. Sometimes also, especially when I have a big painting, I'm taking a picture. I don't know, it's something weird that is happening when you see it in your phone, and the picture seems that, and it's a bit like smaller and everything together. I could see something different. It's another view. That yeah, can help. Okay, so I think I'm done with this one. It's more or less like this. Now you can see better the patterns. Yeah. Yeah, also it's good in some point to stop and not, you know, do too much, because after that it's too crowded. And don't forget that it doesn't have to look like something, it's just abstract. So for example, now I've seen here that I would like to do some lines. So all the time you can go back to your, but other than that, I think it's finished. Yeah. So yeah, in some point you have to stop because it's otherwise it's too much, and especially today that we have so many things that we can try, it's good to put it aside and try something different. Okay, let's go to, I want first to go to one where I'm doing something different, like this one, for example. Here I'm gonna do something that it's a bit, I mean, it's a bit similar with what we did, but actually it's a bit different. And maybe it's a bit more easier, let's say. So this is very good when you have like already like a circular, more or less circular shape, like I have here, and after that you have something that is more like large, and it's not so circular. So now I'm gonna do just let's say circles. It will be similar with this one, but different. The circles, they're gonna be like much bigger and not so exact, the shapes, you know. You're gonna see it in a few moments. So here I'm gonna work still with this golden, because yeah, I mean, you can try also with white, but I think golden is a bit better, like it makes a more different contrast. So what I'm gonna do is like the lines, they're gonna be like much bigger. Maybe it's a bit more difficult, this one. But like I said, try all the time to change the position of the of your paper and adapt it to your hand, not the hand to the paper, because sometimes it's difficult to go like, you know, on the other side, or obviously the paper, it's easier to move, especially that we work with small papers. Also, I know that maybe this is difficult for some people if you are not used to work with lines too often. You don't have to do the line from on one stretch, from, you know, from the beginning to the end. You can also do it till here, and after that you move the paper and you go slowly, slowly. You know, it's like baby steps. Slowly, slowly, and in some point you're gonna have like more practice, and you're gonna be more easier. So also for me, sometimes it's you know, why should you suffer and try to do like from one line? You know, you just go from one or two or three, doesn't matter. And again, the lines doesn't have to have the same, you see. So mine, they don't have the same distance between, I don't have the same distance between the lines. Sometimes it's bigger, sometimes smaller. It's, I don't know, for me it looks like more natural, and I like the natural, so yeah. Okay, and this I wouldn't do it like till up here. Now I would come with something here, for example, or here. I'm gonna go in maybe both sizes. So now I'm going here. see, and the light, you see, it's like, and also I don't want to go till the middle to be perfect. So this time I want to do something that it's not, yeah, it's not perfect. It's random. And I'm gonna do like smaller group of lines, like this one. Like this is bigger. After this is like medium, and after that I'm gonna do some smaller ones. A bit like yeah, just Japanese clouds. So now I'm starting here, but also I want to go on this to cover all this color. So this takes a lot of time, like this doodling. I already see that 1 hour passed. It's unbelievable. So probably we're gonna stay a bit more than 2 hours. If you have time, would be nice. If not, I'm gonna continue even if it's everybody is leaving from the live webinar. I'm gonna do it anyway because I want to show you like different kinds of doodling, and after that you can come anytime. I'm gonna post it in YouTube, and I think also paint events, you're gonna have it in their webpage or just a link to my YouTube, and you can come, I don't know, another day, and you can do it. We can continue if you want. So now here actually I want to go with I'm gonna go with this one over this, but here I want actually to do something else. Something like this, and now I'm going till here. So I want to break a bit the pattern. Okay. And now I'm starting here in the middle. So you see how this can be, you can go like hours and hours doing some doodling. And what I like about doodling, it's very interesting because I know that this won't gonna be the ultimate piece of art or something that maybe somebody wants to buy or somebody or gonna go to some museum. It's probably, I'm gonna put it on on a storage shelf, and they're gonna stay. But it's what I love about art is that the feeling when you do it is like, I don't know, for me it's like it's giving me so much tranquility and peacefulness, and all the world is disappearing. Don't worry, you won't gonna disappear. but it's I don't know. It's helping me to chill and forget about any kind of worry or uh, you know, like future worries or any other thoughts. And practically, are disappearing all the thoughts. It's like empty mind, which is sometimes, you know, the Buddhists and in meditation you try to achieve. And sometimes it's so difficult because you stay there in meditation and you try to, not think, or don't think of that stuff, or don't think to another stuff. And actually, exactly that thing are coming back to you. So, yeah, for me, everything is disappearing. So, you see how also it's nice to have, to not have like the same pattern, like, one second, like this one. So this is like everything, it's coming, like when it's finishing one, it's starting another one, and you have this pattern in the middle. Let's say it's like a perfect pattern. But here I want to have like something different, like to break the pattern, to go here, like I went with this in the middle, and one is bigger, one is smaller, something like this. So to not have a even pattern. I mean, I have the same kind of pattern, but I arrange it in different way. Like I have the pattern, but the composition of the pattern on the painting, it's different all the time. So I'm really curious, how do you feel when you paint? If you have the same feeling, if you have other feelings, if you have like, if you sometimes are frustrated. I'm not saying that I'm not sometimes, that, yeah, sometimes things are not happening like I want, but yeah, it's a bit of frustration, but after that it's like, okay, it's just a piece of paper or a canvas, and you try again. And I'm really curious how is for you the process. I mean, it's like everything in life, probably, you know, it's like we learn all the time and we adapt to the situations. So now I did a small one here, and now I want to go up. Also, I'm curious, like, which are your patterns, if you felt inspired to do the same I did, or you choose something different. I would love to see your patterns and yeah, your inspiration. So I would say that it's almost like a mantra. I don't know if you hear about mantra. Is like a word that you repeat all the time when you want to clear your mind or when you want to meditate. It's helping to not have any thought. So this for me is like this mantra. I'm doing the same thing, the same lines, all over and over again. Probably that's why art it's used in psychology, like therapy art therapy, because it's really helping, especially when you don't have this desire of creating like a masterpiece. You just want to relax a little bit and have some fun, let's say. Okay. Yeah, I know, Stephanie, sometimes can happen this. Um, Try to have the lines a little bit more like the space in between the lines a bit bigger, and also do the lines like not from one try, like do it like from 2-3 segments. Also, don't forget that it's like maybe, I don't know, for me, I'm doing this quite often, and it's much easier because it's like practicing a lot. But if you do it like for the first time, it can be a bit frustrating. It's true. I want to show you here. It's the pattern that it's finished in this part of the painting. So are like some kind of waves. And I want to do also something similar here on this side, because it's a bit more dark. So yeah, to not have all the same. Or should I pass to something different? Okay, so here I'm gonna pass to something different because of the time. So I'm letting this, I would do the same thing like this line here, I would do it here. And yeah, maybe some dots here, or I would just let it like that. So now I'm gonna pass to another one. Something here, for example. And yes, here. And here I really love this part. Here I'm gonna do something more geometrical. And I'm gonna show it before on this kind of paper. Maybe I do it no like this. Okay, so this I want to do this geometrical triangle. So I have different, I'm starting with a simple triangle, and I'm gonna do like smaller ones, but it's good to not have them like super like cluster. It's good to go like left, right, and all the time to try to have a triangle. It's very important to have like the triangles like different size, to not have the same size. If it's the same size, it's a bit like boring, but you can have a big one, very pointy, and after that a fat one. You can even cross the big one and do another one here, like this. So this you can do it like big, like all over, or you can give like a shape, let's say, to go in some direction. Now I'm going in this direction, almost like an arm. And anytime you can go back and do like I don't know, if you want like a bit thicker. Or if you want like a bigger cluster, you can also do it like this. And what I would do, it's at the end, after you did your clusters, you do some dots in the middle, That's why it doesn't matter if you see here, it's not like perfect, the lines or where they come together is not so perfect. Don't lose too much time on that. You can come with a big dot in all the places where the lines are coming together, and looks nicer with the dots in the middle. So I'm gonna do this on, yeah, I'm gonna do it on this one. Let's see, or maybe no, I think I'm gonna do it on this one here, because it's a bigger contrast between my pen and the background. Okay, so let's see. It's all the time I turn my paper, let's see, my canvas or whatever, to see if it's telling me something. If it's there some shape or something that I can inspire me to do some pattern, or yeah, if it's showing me something, you know. Also, I'm doing this even much more in like intuitive painting or any kind of painting. At the beginning, I want to see how is my background, how it looks like, and I'm choosing the position of the painting, how we're gonna look at the end, which is my position. So it's never the position that I'm start with, almost never it's like the same I finish with. Sometimes can be like horizontal or vertical. It's like, yeah, I'm adapting in during the process. So here we can do something like, you can start from the outside, from the exterior of the page inside, or you can go from inside outside, or you can do it completely random. It's again, it depends of your pattern, and if you have some maybe things that you want to let in the middle, or this is what I'm saying, that maybe you have some shapes or something that you really want to, you like it very much, and then you want to be seen. For example, here I like this part. I don't know, it looks like almost light from below, and this is like a bit darker. So this part I don't really want to cover. I almost also like this shape here. So I think I'm gonna come from exterior to inside, and inside we're gonna be like less and less pattern. So you can start like, for example, like this. God, it's not very visible. I don't know what to do with this. Maybe I'm gonna try with some whitish. Maybe it's a bit better. Let's see. Yeah, it's much better. So, oh, I'm happy. Okay, so here I'm gonna try this from outside in, and you can stop wherever you want. It's again, it's up to you. The only thing is to try, this is to keep in mind, to try to have the triangles, like different shapes, and also the orientation of the triangles to be like different. And you don't have to fill up all the space. It's like can be like some clusters of triangles that maybe they come together in just one point. Like here, for example, it's like I have this cluster, and after that they unite in some point. If you want, if like here you have a barrier or of color, you can pass over, but sometimes I like to let it there, and I go on this side, side. So yeah, also maybe next time, the next one I'm gonna do with some floral ink, just to let you know. So like I said, this part I really like here, so I'm gonna do something also here, and after that also here. Okay, and in some point you can start to do the dots to have like an idea of how it looks like. You can put the dots in, maybe if you want, in all the intersections, or not in all of them. It's yeah, it's up to you. You can try at the beginning from outside and go more inside. Skip some of them. It depends how crowded you did this web, let's say. If it's, and depends of obviously the size of your paper. If it's very small and the triangles are very small, maybe it's not good to do in all the intersection of the lines, because it's gonna look like too crowded. But yeah, if you have like a lot of space and you made the triangles big, obviously you can put in all the triangles intersection. Also, you can put the dots with the other color if you want. For me, they look better with this color, but also if you want like a more contrast, you can put it with another color. Okay, and now I'm gonna do something here on this side. Yeah, I'm gonna put it like this. It's okay. Also, you can have like smaller, let's say, this kind of web to have like different ones that are a bit smaller, like here and there. It doesn't have to be so big or, yeah. So consider to do it like how you feel and depending on your size of the paper and how is your background all the time. Oh, thanks, Yanka. Yeah, it's a nice way to paint. Yeah, Stephanie, it's like with the triangles, I think it's a bit easier. I have to say that I prefer them also. With the circle lines, it's a bit more complicated maybe, but this it's really I really like it. And also you can do, I'm gonna show now something like this. Like what we did a bit before, like doesn't have to be all just triangles. I mean, some triangles they can finish in something like this, just to change a bit, or something else. I'm gonna show you. Let's say I'm doing it. Just 1 second to finish with this one. Okay. Okay, and I'm gonna start another one here. So you can do something like this, like you have a line here. It's almost like the other one, more or less. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit more here. So also I'm gonna pass to the next one because I want to show you, we still have 15 minutes and I want to show you another, at least another pattern. So here you can put a bit more. I mean, I would put a little bit more here in this area, and I would let it like this. Yeah, I wouldn't do too much. So I think it's yeah, it's giving something. You see the background looks like almost like constellations. Also, you can do just constellations to study a little bit on internet, see how the constellation looks like if you don't know, and you put these constellations on the alcoholic that it's a bit more like this one, a bit more like cosmos, let's say, like the sky, like the galaxies. So I think that fits very well with this kind of background. That is not very, let's say, too much diversity in colors, and it's a bit more even. So I wouldn't put in something like this, because this one is like already has a lot of colors, and almost you cannot see the galaxies and the constellations, let's say. So I would put in something like this. And this is also, it's very good when you do like a fluid painting, and also in something like this I would put also some kind of galaxies, maybe some stars. So yeah, it's good to try. Also, for example, I have this fluid painting that it's actually quite big. I will show you, do it a bit smaller. So here also I would put some kind of this kind of pattern, something like this. I think it looks nice. If you can see it a bit, this fits with this. So it's like when you have like 2-3 color maximum, and you have like space, you know. Okay, so let's go to the next. I'm gonna do it smaller again. Oops, too much. Okay, let's see what I have here. I want to show you some floral thing, pattern. And how are you? How is this working? Is it working for you? So, okay, I have two patterns that I want to show. So this can be one, and maybe here I'm doing the flowers, yeah. It's all the time I'm looking to see what fits on what. And sometimes can be tricky. Let's see what else I have. Okay, so this can be for the flowers, and this one maybe. This is a bit the ink disappeared, and is continuing disappearing. I don't know what to do with this, so maybe I just. Okay, so here I have something that it's working very well with white. So I have the white pen, and I'm gonna do also something similar with, I don't have anything here. I'm gonna show you on this paper. So, yeah. So it's almost like a flower. I'm going all the time like circular. Like petals. and I try to not make them like here it's almost too round, to wave a little bit on the on each petal. So let's say something like this can work on this one, on these parts here, and maybe also on this. Or let's see what else can work. Like a bit, I'm gonna do it directly on the on here. So we have, I'm going like around the shape that I have here. This is also, it's not very complicated. And after that I go with another line, the closest I can to the other one, but it's okay if they come together in some point. And it looks almost like a map, you know, when you look at the map of the altitude. Something like that. So we can do this, or you can do, if you want, this type of flowers. I can like it here. Put it like this. Here. And yeah, you can choose one of these patterns depending on how it's your background. So this I'm gonna do on all these bubbles that I have here. And if it's okay if the lines, they come together in some point. It's not a big problem. Also try to not have like a perfect, if you have like this rounds, to have like not a perfect circle. It's okay if it's not, actually it's nicer. So these are like patterns that, let's say you either work with them before and you have like an idea, and you can do it separately of this, the shape you had on your alcohol ink, or you adapt depending on the shapes that you have in your alcohol ink paper. It's completely up to you. You can come with maybe something different because your painting, it's inspiring something different than either kind of pattern. So I'm gonna do another one here. And another one here. Okay. So I think this, I like it like this. Maybe I'm gonna do to have like this part. And after that, what is pink, I'm not gonna touch too much, I mean, at all. Okay, it starts to come together. And maybe another one here. Okay, so you have an idea about this one. I will do another one here, but I want to show you the floral thing before. Okay, and also I want to let you know that I'm gonna start to paint live, like free, not with too much instructions. It's just my personal painting live sessions. And if you want to watch that, it's for free. You just have to subscribe to the webpage or the channel, YouTube channel, in order to see when I'm doing that, because yeah, I'm not painting every day. Or if you want to know when I'm doing, I'm gonna send like a short email, or just put it in Facebook or Instagram. But yeah, if you want to know, it's maybe better if you subscribe to the website. So this is for the flower. It's like this, but I think I would put it vertical in this case, but I want you to see it well, so it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna put it like horizontal. And for this one, I'm gonna take you can do it with golden, but I think the golden is not very visible on this because it's quite more or less clear. And then I'm gonna use the black one, and because it's much more visible. So for the florals, I would do something really, let's say, simple, like leaves, like very abstract leaves. So I'm using this just like a background. So I don't really care what it's on the back. Even that I like it in a way, this bluish sky. So I'm doing like different shapes of here and there of let's say leaves, like one smaller, one bigger. You see the size has to be different all the time. If you do the same size, it's too even and it's boring. And also if you do it I would suggest to do like the bigger shapes in more in front towards you, and the smaller on the back, because this is giving like a slightly idea of distance and dimension. So something like this. And now here in the leaves you can do some doodling. Can be like every leaves to be different, and or can be like the same. So now I would go with, okay, I want you to see it. I'm going to do it like this. Like some kind of lines here. Okay, you can have the same distance, or you can have them like a bit random here and there. I would let this golden thing out. I really like the golden because it's not so much here. Okay. And on this side you can do it like something different. I mean, to not to not continue these lines. You can have more space, or even you can color some spaces in between. So something like this. And for example, this one you can do like we did before, like just lines after lines inside. And maybe I'm gonna do another one here, but now I keep the base here. So I'm doing like this. I'm gonna do like here in the middle, another one like this one, to have like a bit of correspondence, to like a little bit of balance. Also you can let it like this. Actually I like it like this, or maybe I do this. Okay. God, it's already 3 o'clock. So I'm gonna finish this, and yeah, if you send me an email, I can send you the picture of this kind of doodling. Also, I mean, in June I'm gonna send a newsletter if you subscribe to the webpage with a lot of information and some goodies, some gifts. And also I'm gonna send this and also let you know when I'm gonna paint live. And I'm gonna post more in the next days, more doodling on the on alcoholing, and I'm gonna try to fill up all this that we have here, so then you can see everything. So I don't know about this. If you, I think I like this a lot because it's like some how to say, like also it's nice the background, and you can have also some floral thing, and it's a bit more diverse. And obviously we can do other thing. It's doesn't have to be this kind of patterns. Can be also like some squares in the middle, like also like something like this that we did before. This, let's say, Japanese. I think everybody has like some preferences on patterns. For some people are a bit more floral, for some people are a bit more geometrical. Also, this is saying a lot about your style, because what you like and what is coming easy for you, it's actually your style. Sometimes we try to do something very complicated, and we ignore our natural style, something that is coming easy for us, because we are taught actually that you have to suffer to do something nice and something that everybody likes. But I think we have to stay a lot with what is coming easy for us. Obviously you can learn and try different things, but all the time. And this is also, I love to try new things. I am really love, and especially when I don't have too much inspiration, I love to try new things, because that is giving me like it's giving me like inspiration, and it's you can combine styles and the new information, and it's feeding your inspiration actually. So yeah, this is it for the moment. I'm gonna close here. I have my dog that is looking through the window, that he wants to go out for a walk. And I hope to see you either at paint events or the next time when I'm doing a live event, or when I'm painting live. Actually, I'm gonna be here in my workshop, and I'm gonna have like 3 cameras, where every camera is it's showing another angle, something that is very close up. And sometimes can be that I'm gonna talk and explain some process, but if I'm really into the process, I'm not gonna talk. Maybe I'm gonna talk after that to explain what I did, and what I did and why, and the orders, or the technical things, and how I'm thinking, and also a lot of secrets, let's say, of the artist. So if you want to know about all these things that are coming, just I think it's better to subscribe to the website, because in the YouTube I'm just already putting the material, or you're gonna be live, and maybe you miss it. So for the website, if you subscribe, it's like it's coming the information with a few days before, so you have some time to organize your life around this. So thank you so much, and I'm wishing you a very beautiful day. Also, if you want, please tag me in Instagram if you are. I would love to see what you did. I'm so curious. And stay creative, okay? Bye everybody.